Hey guys, this is Ian with another Pro Dota commentary, and I'm super excited for this game today.
Hello and welcome to this audio commentary done by Darkson. What's up, Dota?
Hello and welcome to another audio commentary done by Luminous.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Lazarus here, and this is another Dota game.
Hello everybody, this is Phantom, and welcome to another English Dota audio commentary.
Hey guys, it was Stalker bringing you another Pro Dota commentary.
Hello guys, this is Jack, and I am back for another Dota cast.
Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming at you with yet another Pro Dota commentary, and today we are not going to be commentating from the ADC, as I'm pretty much exclusively commentating from that. Today we're going to look at a game between Ehome and Pest, and you may be wondering, who is this Pest team that is sitting on Scourge today? Before I get into that, in November there will be a tournament called WDC World Dota Championship, a humongous, not humongous, but a large LAN that is going to be held in China. And the top 16 teams in the world, quote unquote, will be invited to WDC. I'm going to explain that a little bit. Top 4 Euro teams have been invited. I think MYM is one of them. I believe it's DTS, Lost, and New World Order, NWOS, the 4 invited teams for the European teams. There's going to be 4 Chinese pro teams, so we're going to look at probably the Nirvana Chinas, the LGDs, the Ehomes. 4 Asian teams, so Starboba, the Miniski, I don't know, like Aeon Malaysia, Aeon SG, or Nirvana Malaysia, teams like that, and 4 top university Chinese teams, which Pest is one of them today. And the other than the Europeans, all these Asian teams, the Chinese teams, have to go through qualifiers, and we're gonna be seeing some up-and-coming Chinese teams. And don't quote me on this, Pest is one of the top Chinese university teams out there, and I'm really interested to see how they're gonna hold up against, arguably the best team in China and the best team in the world, the Ehome Gigabyte. So it's quite interesting, and that's why I particularly picked this match. And this is a show match, so not much is on the line. But one thing I know about Chinese players, one thing I know about myself, is that we always play with a lot of pride. So I mean, even if it's a show match, I generally give a lot into it. I think this could be a good indication of how a top, I guess, a university team compared to a top pro team. And it won't surprise me at all if it's going to be a one-sided stomp in favor of Ehome. But I just want to see how much run of a money if Pest is going to give them. And let's see if they're going to be very pesky, no pun intended. And looking at some of these very interesting heroes, we're going to see a Beastmaster solo mid, and a Potom, Earthshaker, Witch Doctor, and Alchemist. And in terms of more of the European viewers, which most of my viewers are European or North American, you may be saying, these are very common heroes, but in the Asian scene, especially in the Chinese scene, these heroes are extremely odd. Generally, they don't favor the Potom. Generally, they think Potom is very, I guess, a weak hero in terms of she doesn't contribute too much into the team fight, and she's not that good of a laner. She's really becoming overshadowed by Windrunner, which, in my own opinion, does a lot more in both team fights and laning. And so that's why a lot of teams aren't favoring Potom, but we do see Pest favoring Potom. So let's see if they could pull something out good from them. Just looking from the heroes, with the Beastmaster solo mid, they're probably gonna have Potom in one of the long lanes as a solo, and do a tri-lane with Alchemist, Earthshaker, and Witch Doctor, which seems to be extremely stable. They have a good defensive hero. They have 2 great defensive heroes in the tri-lane, which is the Witch Doctor and the Earthshaker, to protect this Alchemist with stuns and whatnot. And they have a lot of range, or they have a range, but 600 range from Witch Doctor, and with this high base damage should be okay in terms of lane control. And with the possibility of 3 stuns coming at you, it's definitely a scary thing to go up against. And Potom generally could handle his own solo lane pretty well. So that's my guess on this laning. Whereas on Scourge, it's a little bit, or on Sentinel, which is Ehome. Nothing. You guys all know this player. And look, judging from this item choice, I think Enigma will be jungling, which is extremely odd. But I'll get into why that's a little bit odd later on. They do have a line And this looks like a gear for a solo lane instead of a support line. And one way you could really tell whether this line is going to be going support or whether is going to be soloing is that look at the amount of clarity he has, 0. In a support lane, you generally is quite mana dependent, because especially in a tri lane versus tri lane, there's going to be a huge amount of fight. So whoever runs out of restorative first, it's going to have to be on the defensive. And the fact that he does not have any type of clarity to heal himself up after a skirmish, he's definitely going to go in the solo lane. So we're probably going to have a jungle Enigma and a dual lane of a Venomancer versus a dual lane of Drow Ranger and a Venomancer on the bot lane, and a Demon Witch solo top and a Stormsphere solo mid. This is some very interesting laning coming from Ehome. And by interesting, I mean it's generally non-standard. They generally throw the Enigma on the top lane, which I'll get into why that's good later if I have time to talk about it. And definitely not in jungle. Just to cover the players a little bit, I personally don't know the players from Pest, so I apologize on that. But on Ehome, they're definitely a well-known player. We do have Burning on the Drow Ranger as expected, so he will be farming up a Storm. And 820 is going to be on... Sure, say 820. 820 is playing the line, so he is going to be... generally, he plays more of a support role, but I guess he's going to go for more of a semi-carry Demon Witch blinking line. We do have King J on the Enigma. This is extremely odd. King J generally a very good long lane solo player. Kind of odd that he's being thrown into the jungle and instead of going to top lane. So, and if you're wondering, I'm sure all these Ehome players could swap here right now and play their role as efficiently as possible. So it's real interesting why Ehome King J is not going to top solo, as if 820 is going to do so, but. Not too big of a deal. We do have Ehome X soloing mid, and Ehome X is kind of their storm and line specialist, especially when going to mid to shut down the other solo. And it's going to be very interesting to see how he particularly shuts down a Beastmaster solo mid, but more on that later. And we're going to have 375 on the Venomancer. So nothing too particular to talk about. I have to favor Ehome's picks. Just for the laning and for the team fight. If you look at the Ehome's pick, they have really big AoE. They have a lot of initiating power through the line, the Storm Spirit, and the Enigma, which have a form of blink, one way of blink or another. If you look at the Scourge team, they don't really have any kind of solid carry that's comparable to a Drow Ranger. Alchemist and Potom could semi-carry decently, and Beastmaster could also semi-carry to a little bit of a good effect. And keep in mind that his inner beast aura will benefit the Potom and the Alchemist quite a bit. But just judging from the team fight, they don't have as many stuns, they don't have as many initiating power compared to the Sentinel. They're definitely more of a defensive squad, with the Acid Spray being thrown down, with the Earthshaker, great defensive hero, Potom's ultimate for defensive purposes. Very good defensive hero. The only kind of initiation comes in through the Primal Roar from the Beastmaster, which is a great initiating tool, but it's dependent on heroes like Earthshaker getting the dagger to follow up. If the Earthshaker could get the dagger, that is going to be a game-changing moment. But on the Sentinel side, I gotta say these are the Ehome heroes, if you will. They have great initiation, they have big AoE team fight, they have long endurance team fight coming from the Venomancers, ultimate. And they're not lacking in the burst damage at all. They have great burst damage as well. So I gotta favor Sentinel's picks and probably their laning. Well, their laning isn't too good. Drow Ranger solo or Drow Ranger bot with 2 heroes supporting him against a tri stunning lane. I can't favor that too much, but from the other lanes, especially the Storm Spirit and the line, they should really decimate against a Potom and especially a Beastmaster. Beastmaster is going to have a lot of trouble against these kind of solos. So without further ado, I'm going to pause and then talk about the game. One thing I want to point out right at the start is that you can see both Storm Spirit and the Beastmaster not using all their gold. They're going to be going for a quick bottle, which really this is kind of initiated upon a Beastmaster. Generally, if let's say Storm Spirit was soloing against a Shadow Fiend or something like that, he would not go this item gear. But against a Beastmaster who lives and dies by the rune control, if you could beat the Beastmaster to the bottle, you're definitely in great shape in terms of, well, it's kind of a must to beat him to the bottle and control the runes. And of course, Beastmaster, the only reason why teams even put him in solo mid is because he has the Hawk to rune control. And without that Hawk, he's kind of not that good of a hero, if you get what I mean. He has a good attack animation, and he could actually creep through WoW axis, but that is dependent on your mana pool. So we're gonna look forward to have Ehome X kind of bully him a lot, and it won't surprise me at all if Ehome X just totally stomps in this lane. And interesting item choice that the Ring of Protection is gone on the Enigma. Generally, you see this item as Crow being picked off, the Hawk being picked off. The Enigma Ring of Protection, generally you get it in lane because it offers you very valuable armors, but it looks like he is going to go for a quick Ring of Basilius to give him the Illidan's a little bit of armor. But I would have favored a couple more GG branches, or maybe a salve. That probably could be a better choice. But they know exactly what we're talking about, what they're doing, and a very interesting observer ward placed in this region. If I'm gonna go to Sentinel region, Sentinel view real fast, if you can see here, it allows them to see across the cliff, which is pretty important for Storm Threat to see uphill. So let's say if he drops a static remnant, he could actually use the overload to harass uphill, which what that ward provides him to do. As we see a skirmish going on, we do see a little bit of a poor Fissure not blocking the Venomancer in, but it does not matter. A good follow-up arrow from the bottom. Looks like they're gonna do a top solo alchemist. Very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed. So that looks of it, they're gonna put a lot of hopes and dreams into that alchemist getting a quick radiance in the mid game, probably a 20-minute, 25-minute radiance, which is going to be very important because I don't think the Sentinel will lose in kind of a late game engagement, especially with the Drow Ranger on their squad. So a bottom in a tri-lane, interesting, very interesting. And generally in the tri-lane, both these teams are having their support heroes on the side, kind of the Scourge really want to gank the Sentinel forest heroes, and they definitely know that the Enigma is in the forest. So most of the time it's going to be the Drow Ranger versus the bottom in a solo lane. At 1v1, I have to give the advantage to the Drow Ranger because he does have higher base damage and higher attack range. But with these Scourge squad of stunners coming in from the side like this, I think Potom is definitely in a great shape. Potom won't be ganked easily at all, because this lane is extremely defensive with the leap, with the Fissure, as we see the Witch Doctor doing exactly what he should be doing, harassing a jungler. And that's why a lot of players don't like to, or a lot of Chinese team don't like to jungle, because it's too easily harassed and it leaves a solo like this extremely vulnerable. And I mean, they're even doing a creep pull here as we see a Fissure coming in. A little bit of poor communication coming in. If they timed it right, a Fissure into arrow would have done a significant amount of damage to the Drow Ranger, probably forcing her to use a salve there if they changed them properly, and which is extremely easy to change them with the Fissure into arrow, because there was a line of 4 or 5 creeps. And I mean, you may be thinking that's just kind of a small thing, as we see a wraparound from the Enigma. And one of the reasons why a lot of Chinese teams don't like to Enigma jungle is that it's extremely hard to, as we see initiation going on, Venomous Scale hitting only one hero, Fissure as a defensive measure being casted. It's extremely difficult for Enigma to come to gank off a jungle to be extremely effective gank. What I call an effective gank for Enigma is with 6 Illidans coming out of the jungles, and think, I mean, that sounds pretty easy to do, but think how hard it is. You have to get 6 attacks on the neutrals, and then you have to time it just as well, because when you're jungling and you actually get 6 attacks on your Eidolons, they're timing out, so you have to time it very carefully, that before they time out, you're coming into gank with 6 Illidans. You get a Malphite stun off and do a lot of damage, which I haven't seen any pro Enigma players ever get a gank out of the jungle successfully. As we see Potom picking up Ring of Basilius, which you might be thinking, you know, WTF is going on Potom going Ring of Basilius. But I have to say, Ring of Basilius on Potom is a lot better than a poor man show on Potom, which we see quite frequently, even on the pro level. So we see a gank coming off. They're going to try to pick off Burning here. A leap goes on the Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger will be forced to take it down. I think he could have actually used the salve to save himself there, but a little risky to lose both your life and the salve.